Principle number 2, fast intermittently. Now, this is about learning your body's rhythms, and fasting intermittently can help support cellular repair and longevity. Going back into the 70s and 80s, we had this notion that we would have 3 meals and 2 snacks a day. Well, all that did was keep our blood sugar going up and down all day long. Not only that, digestion is the largest energy requirement of the body. So when you're continually trying to digest food, makes you tired. When you learn how to fast intermittently, what you do is you relearn your body's natural rhythms. Now, there's various forms of fasting intermittently. Some call it timed eating or restricted eating. And the thing with it is that you learn what your body needs. For instance, a midlife woman, a woman coming through menopause, shouldn't fast the same hours every single week. She should change it up. So many women do 16-8, which is maybe finishing dinner at 7 and then not into 11. But don't do that all the time. Sometimes you might do a 12-12 where you'll have finished dinner at 7 and you have breakfast at 7 the next morning, or 14-10. Or you might want to try a long fast or a day when you're not fasting at all. It's about learning your body's natural rhythms and moving with your hormones rather than having a rigid set of time that you must do because somebody else has told you. This isn't about that. It's about listening to your body. Principle number 3, which happens to be my favorite, is to exercise effectively. You want to be thinking strong over skinny, health over weight, consistency over comparison. Again, how you exercise is very, very particular to your body type and to your personality type. I am what we call an achiever. So I love to go to the gym. I love pushing myself each week to lift heavier weights. I just love that. I like to achieve. You might be a socializer, and a socializer is somebody who would prefer group exercise classes or games, tennis games or pickleball or something like that. I mean, that's where you fill up. You might be a peacemaker, somebody who prefers things like Pilates or yoga. And that's all about what you prefer. There's no right or wrong. And that's what we work with when we're working with the 10 principles, is to combine your personality profile, which we work on, plus what suits that in order for you to stay motivated. Because if you're the type of person, for me, for instance, I find yoga it's just not my thing. I don't like it. I prefer to set a thing by myself and do it, and I'm looking for gains each week. So that's my achiever personality. Whereas my friend Liz loves yoga and Pilates. Her going to a gym on her own to do weights is just not her thing. Not right or wrong. It's just the way it is. And when we're working together doing the 10 principles of wellness, that's what we're looking for, the uniqueness of you. There's no cookie cutter model. Let's look then at the 5 aspects that make up exercise effectively. Number 1 is strength. There is so much data and research now to show that women just must be lifting weights at some point, doing some type of resistance exercise, because we lose 1% to 3% of muscle mass for every year after the age of 45. As our estrogen declines, so does our muscle mass. That your muscle mass is literally like your engine room. It's where your immunity is and your metabolism is and your strength. I mean, we're talking about adding life to your years, not years to your life. And you want to be able to age well, age strong. It's no use living to 90 if you can't get out of a chair. You want to be able to live to 90 and still be, hiking trails and, keeping up with your great-grandchildren. That's what this is all about. Form. So ensuring that you are doing the exercise correctly. So it's important. That's just key. Elevate. For instance, if you're doing weights, and I recommend to people now who want to try weightlifting, is to pick a weight where you can do 4 repetitions with a degree of difficulty, but you just can't do the 5th. Do 4 sets of those. And as you increase your strength and it becomes easy, you then go to 5. And then you go to 6 reps. And then you go to 7, and you might do 3 sets of 8. You end up. Posture is the third aspect of this. Nothing ages us more than poor posture. And because most of us now sit in front of a computer, our posture is appalling. And that's where we end up with lower back issues, hip issues. Balance. Do you know, one of the great indicators of poor health is lack of balance. And many women, as they age, fall because of lack of balance. When you're able to be confident in your balance, which is where your ankles in particular are sending messages to your brain all the time about balancing it, you can help reduce risk of falls. And flexibility is so important as we age, to be flexible, again, to get up and down from the floor. If you go, to be able to stop yourself if you are going to fall, that flexibility is incredibly important, but also for joint wellness and for ligaments, ensuring that your ligaments are flexible.